Now, of course, that's in the heyday, because since the 90s, there's been a progressive desire within Equity to neuter variety branches because they don't really fit in with a socialist, radical, progressive agenda.
Nigel.cecil, calling things out.
Hello, Chakrabartis, welcome. Thank you for joining me, moi, Nigel.cecil, who along with my very good friend Hilary are presenting this second video out of a two-part video concerning Equity. Equity, the trade union for professional actors, variety entertainers and other creatives across the United Kingdom, because amongst our fair-minded and equitable friends, our regular viewers, those who are members of Equity, they got in touch via our usual email address and said, come on, EquityUK, their tagline, incorporating the Variety Artists Federation, what the heck does that mean nowadays? At the end of the last video, part 1, we finished with this insert featuring the East Midlands Variety Branch. Variety, variety, that's what's brought us together. Magicians and singers, actors and dancers, variety acts. The East Midlands Variety Branch, the demise of variety branches within Equity. Goodbye, variety branches. The old hat, we don't need them. Incorporate everyone together, hey. Information credibility insert. Regular viewers know that we endeavour to present the facts about an issue equally and fairly. Artificial intelligence, AI, averaging of information may be helpful trying to achieve this. We checked an AI averaging summary of information as shown on the screen, gleaned from the web, where Equity was put as its primary focus for information. AI provides generally an independent presentation of facts, although one which actors known in this case who've been in touch say it's an interpretation they do not recognise. Hang on a minute. Back in the 1960s, when Equity incorporated the Variety Artists Federation, Equity had a clear structure, department within Equity that was independent from the other areas of Equity. It had its own Assistant General Secretary, the only Assistant General Secretary within Equity, and they were able to take decisions on behalf of Variety, those topics that clearly represented Variety interests, provided the general policy of Equity wasn't breached in any way. Now, obviously, the council had an overarching responsibility to give a nod and a wink, but just like the General Secretary of Equity knows what the council overarchingly wants, then the Assistant General Secretary knew what overarchingly Equity wanted. But they recognised that the needs of variety artists were unique, and you couldn't have actors dominating and dictating what self-employed sole traders were able to do, because actors were not self-employed sole traders. And at that time, Equity acknowledged some 25 to 30% of the membership were in fact self-employed sole traders, acts as known, independent acts. Nothing like actors. Of course, there was the crossover, that they were all entertainers. They worked on stage, in the theatre, anywhere that featured entertainment. Now just roll forward to today. All that's vanished. But think about BECTU, we've got that here, BECTU, Broadcasting, Entertainment, Communications and Theatre Union. Well, in 2017, they merged with Prospect. But hey, guess what? They've got their own identifiable sector within Prospect with their own officials who run that sector for them. They've got a clear democratic structure that gives them independence when it comes to their issues from the general policies of Prospect, which of course they endorse, but the individual policies are determined by the BEC2 members. That's vanished within Equity. Gone. Because, of course, trade unions now, in some ways, some of them are just reverting to their grassroots. The grassroots of being, well, the workers' arm of the socialist movement. Equity is now radical, progressive activism, campaigning, resilience, resistance, which doesn't fit in well with the idea you're a self-employed sole trader. And over the years, slowly, the reactive activist side of Equity has well distance from self-employed sole traders. And the final crunch recently was when really it was a bit of a con, one would say, a scam. All the members voted about an issue that concerns self-employed sole traders. Surely that can't be right. The majority telling the minority what they have to do. Yeah, really? But variety branches were finally given the boot. You're not needed. You're not needed. You can now be part of a general branch. A general branch? Can a general branch focus locally on the needs of individual acts? Self-employed sole traders? Come on, just ask yourself this, all the actors. Where is your workplace? You can all come together in your workplace, in the theatre. You appoint deputies, you elect a deputy. We even have deputies training sessions, don't you, within Equity? So the actors have their deputies on the job, ready to communicate with the head office, ready to assist members discreetly in the workplace. Go on. Try and elect a deputy in the workplace, in the local area, for acts as known self-employed sole traders. There might only be one act in one venue in 40 venues across a city for one night, moving on to another place. Go on. Where's your workplace deputy? How do you get it together? By coming together once a month to a general branch meeting when everyone's discussing progressive radical activism. Not a cat in hell's chance, is there, really? How do you have the workplace for self-employed sole traders? By having a variety branch. And remember, we discussed in part one that variety doesn't mean old hat as it is now, but those local branches were the work meeting places for those self-employed sole traders working in the area. The members in the heyday, the branch secretaries, were available 24/7, because when you found yourself in difficulties at 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, not knowing what to do, you need to be able to pick up the phone and speak with a fellow performer. Hey, excuse me, what should we do? And the variety branch secretaries always made sure they were available. Now, of course, that's in the heyday, because since the 90s, there's been a progressive desire within Equity to neuter variety branches because they don't really fit in with a socialist, radical, progressive agenda. And that's where we are now. The variety branches have gone. The opportunity for members to have a workplace where they can meet that genuinely meets their needs, variety branches vanished. So where does self-employed sole traders, acts as known, go now within Equity? A general branch? Shrug your shoulders. Too late then. You need that monthly meeting with your fellow performers as branch officials in that self-employed sector to be there. They're no longer there. the demise of branches representing, call it variety, call it entertainers, self-employed sole traders, has gone. Hence, the suggestion from some of you that either equity now needs to be upfront to self-employed sole traders and say, incorporating the Variety Artists Federation is now just a note in history. It has no meaning within equity. Or tell self-employed sole traders the gigging economy, the grassroots of showbiz, well, we'll represent you when it fits in with a radical progressive agenda.
Variety, variety, that's what's brought us together. Magicians and singers, actors and dancers, variety acts and performers.
In the meantime, Chakabatis, if you have any ideas you wish to bring to our attention, your comments, views and opinions, do get in touch with our usual email address. And as this particular topic concerned equity, we'll always finish with, to all artists, good work, to all workers, good art, and to everyone, equity. And of course, in showbiz, Chakabatis, don't forget to keep your professional fingers crossed. Progressive solidarity to everyone.